Hello, and welcome back to defeating all of Dark Souls 1 with nothing but a broken straight sword at level 1. So, last time I went through, made my way to the DLC, defeated Sanctuary Guardian so we could access Artorias. Artorias then proceeded to basically beat me into the dirt for 2 or 3 hours, and I said, okay, I want to end stream on a high note, let's go, do something that's meaningful. And so I went and I fought Seat the Scaleless just to kind of have some progress. But now, in this video, we are back to Artorias, and spoilers, this video is just Artorias. The DLC bosses have a lot of HP, and so fighting them oftentimes at this point can take 20-30 minutes for a single attempt, even if I don't win. And so Artorias kind of constitutes his own video. Calamite is going to basically constitute his own video. Manus is basically going to constitute his own video, because they just have that much health and attempts take that long. Now, after we defeat Artorias, we're going to get a final item that will upgrade our gameplay. If you, have watched the previous videos or remember way back, I got the Chaos Broken Straight Sword after defeating Quelaag, and that was a pretty meaningful upgrade, but it was kind of our last meaningful upgrade. There were other little things like, say, getting Grass Crest Shield or upgrading our Estus Flask, and those things are nice, sure, but they weren't gameplay defining. Our next upgrade is pretty gameplay defining. It changes the texture of the run quite a bit. So I will cover that more in the next video, so there'll be a little bit more of a long-winded explanation there. Otherwise, Artorias is basically just play well, play Dark Souls well. Alright, if you play logically, if you don't overextend, Artorias will let you by. That's kind of how the boss is designed. It's a difficult fight, but it's difficult in a way that is exactly fair. It is not trying to play gotcha with you at all, so you just need to play well. I am not perfect at Artorias, and when attempts take that long, mistakes definitely come up. And so one thing I started doing was to give myself a little bit of a head start by going into the fight with the Red Tearstone Ring. For those of you unaware, whenever your HP is basically insanely low, Red Tearstone Ring gives you a lot of extra damage to make up for it. And oftentimes you use this just to blitz a boss in a very straightforward manner. We don't have enough damage to even begin to do Red Tearstone competently. Even if we did use Red Tearstone the entire time, the fight would still take like 10 minutes. And I am not confident that I can sit there, damage Artorias well enough, and not get hit by a single stupid attack across a 10-minute period. However, what we can do is use it at the beginning of the fight for, say, like 3 minutes, or however long it takes for him to go into, say, a buff phase, and then heal up afterwards, put on our normal rings, and then play Dark Souls normally, and usually be okay. It kind of gives us just that, again, little bit of a head start. So we do that, and then whenever Artorias starts to buff up with his aura, normally you can hit him out of it to stop it from happening. We can't do that, we don't have enough damage to actually stop him. And so we instead use that time to swap off of Red Tearstone Ring, to eat a green blossom to get some stamina regen and heal up, and then we're just playing Dark Souls normally. But I'm going to go ahead, let that play, and I hope you enjoy. Like, I just weird out too much. Okay. That was probably a time I could have done 2 R1s. Let's just get out of that. I don't know. I think the double R1 just, like, remains to be a greedy option. But if I'm in, like, you know, non-RTSR mode, it's probably still fine to do. Yeah, because he could do, like, the roller Bruce out of it. Going from RDSR damage to regular damage. I've never felt sadder. I was trying not to panic roll it, but really should have. That's far enough. Eh, it really wasn't. It really, really wasn't. Yeah, so after the overhead, I have to make sure he commits to an option before I roll out. Because if I roll out early, he goes somersault. Damn. That was a greedy R2. Honestly, that R2 was even greedy. Like, my range wasn't good for that. Alright. I thought we would just be out of range. Can I get a big thrust? That works. I should have been hit there. Alright, well, you should have been hit there, so we'll call it even. Because our damage numbers are definitely even, Artorias. You know, frankly, Artorias, I think this fight too heavily favors me. Let's get out of that. I know I could go in after the, like, the finisher overhead, but I don't know what his follow-up is after that. And buff state is not a time to be learning that information. That was also just entirely a misinput. I was not wanting to do that rolling attack, but my finger just rested on the trigger. I think buff is over. Yeah, buff is over. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, I was just kind of rolling to be rolling, and that's not the way to do this. Okay. Wait, we can get counters whenever he does the roll away? Huh. I mean, it's not worth it because of that attack, but it's interesting. Okay. We're just gonna disengage from that, Artorias, you understand. Alright, he's buffing. What's he doing? Again, I held the roll. That's fine. Just don't roll into him, and we are okay here. That was very unsafe. Thankfully, he only did the sludge, so we are fine. Get me out of that. Okay. Buff spam does, that's okay. Just get me out of that. Probably shouldn't have gone for that R2. Like, that one just didn't feel particularly safe. I was expecting buff spam. I guess he's still in buff, so he's not going to try to. Alright, buff is gone. Okay. we're just getting out of that. Buff? Nope. Nah, that was a good R2 situation. I was thinking maybe we could have done the R1, but that was definitely an R2 situation. Come on. Come on, let's see it. Give me something good. Okay, he doesn't have a follow-up after that. It's just like a back to neutral. We were too far away. Yep, panic rolled. It's fine, heal up. Come on, Artorias, what do you got? Give me some good damage windows. I thought he was gonna buff. Granted, if he doesn't want to buff, I'm not gonna complain. Takes a lot of pressure off the fight. Alright. I think if we can get through this, we're good. Come on, Unk. I'm not even trying for damage there. It's not that risky, but I wasn't trusting it. Not in buff state. That was also definitely not an R2 situation, so that was just pure greed. Alright, buff should be wearing off soon. Yep. Well, no, not quite yet. There it is. So now we can breathe slightly more easily. Okay, I did not expect you to go straight into thrust off of that, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. Usually do, like, at least one little steppy step around first. Like, what's going on, Unk? Why are you adapting? Okay, another buff. That's fine. Stressful as all hell, but fine. Let's just get out of it. I'm content with running out the buff timer. Alright, buff should be gone momentarily. Yep. I don't know what I'm doing in there. Alright. I need a heal window. That's not really a heal window, but we're gonna make it one. Damn it. That was almost very bad. I greeted that heal so much. I'm starting to, like, lose my principles. Like, I'm going for hits I know I shouldn't. I'm healing when I shouldn't. I'm not dodging like I should. Okay, a few more hits. I held it, and I knew I did. Just buff. Big jump, thrust, I'll take either. I'm just getting out of that. I don't trust it. He had a look in his eye. We know this is fine. Only barely fine, but it is fine. Come on. Come on. That'll do. Come on, sweep attack. I'll take the thrust. Let's go. Alright. Fuck you, Artorias. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Onk. You kinda beat my ass again, for real, I'm not gonna lie.